And then the ring of fire. Oh my damn. Oh my damn. Okay. Now this is the one area where my doula's assistant messed the fuck up. She was supposed to give me a warm compress. I don't know what she was doing, but she was taking fucking forever. That ring of fire. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. That shit. Because she's crowning. Oh Lord. Woo! If you don't know, now you know. But I felt her head come out. And then I felt the doctor moving her, which I don't agree with, but we are where we are at that point. That's why I wanted my husband to catch the baby. And once her shoulder's out, it was like, I felt her like slip out. And then I'll never forget the image seared in my mind when they passed her through my legs to me. And I'm holding my baby girl that I just pushed out of my vagina without any pain meds at all. And I'm holding my baby. And she didn't even cry, y'all. She did a couple of whimpers, but she didn't even cry. And then I had to flip over, because remember, I'm on all fours. And I put her like right where my breasts are. My umbilical cord was short, which was one of the what ifs that my OB threw out, because I didn't want a lotus birth, but I wanted to delay cord clamping for my golden hour. I was like, we don't need to rush the 1 minute, 5 minute that these doctors be on. Let's just give it an hour. I don't want to take that shit home, so we good. But just give it some time, you know. But it was short, so I didn't take her up higher. I was just having her there. Felt a contraction. That thing went poosh. The placenta. It was out of there. If you were in the way, you got caught. But yeah, so baby girl came out. I was like, don't rub her down. Just put a blanket on top, because I wanted to keep the smell. We're mammals. Keep the smell for breastfeeding. And I birthed my baby girl. And at 39 weeks and 6 days, not the scheduled induction that they wanted at 37 weeks, and not the C-section. And it's because I had education outside of the OB. Now, mind you, every time my OB said something, all the risk when I've declined something, she didn't say a single risk of me doing any of the things that she was suggesting. And again, that's coercion. That is not informed consent. Because they're not giving you all the facts. They'll tell you the risk of what they don't want you to do. They're not telling you the risk of what they do want you to do. But yeah, I had my baby girl the way that I wanted, and the physiological birth that I wanted. The pain med-free. I embraced the warrior in me and the rite of passage that is motherhood, of bringing life earthside. Now, I will say, the one aspect of Black maternal health disparities that I felt was after my baby was born. I didn't have a first degree tear. I didn't have a second degree tear. I had what they called a labia laceration, which was basically, I had a tear enough to bleed and get some stitches, but not enough to whatever. And while she did numb me and I didn't feel the stitches, she was, again, this is the OB I didn't like. She was very rough with me. Very rough, moving very quickly. And I didn't think she needed to. So I told her, you're moving too rough. Please slow down. You're moving too quickly. Please, stop being so rough. Stop moving so quick. Slow down. This is hurting. Stop it. And she didn't. And to the point she was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, I don't believe you, which my husband started laughing. But I felt unheard because I'm repeatedly asking her to stop, and she doesn't even remotely try. That is the one aspect where I felt unheard as a Black woman having a hospital birth. But other than that, because I was educated and I advocated for myself, I didn't have a traumatic birth story. I had the childbirth experience that I desired, a spiritual and primal one, where if anything were to go wrong, I'm there. But that's if things were going wrong. And things went right. Blood pressure is still fine. Baby girl's healthy. We just came from the pediatrician today. So yeah. Please share my story, because more Black women need to know of how the system is. Now, mind you, I'm in mental health. I understand the system I'm walking into. I understand the fact that they used to say Black people had limited mental capacity. Psychologists used to say this. I understand that they used to put women in asylums just for desiring an orgasm. I understand that homosexuality used to be a mental disorder listed in the DSM. I understand the system I walk into, and I challenge that shit. Because it's a Eurocentric capitalistic system, like the rest of America. So why do you think the labor and delivery is any different? The obstetrics and gynecology is any different? So if you're OB, challenge the system you're fucking walking into, or you're already in. And if you're a Black woman having a hospital birth, you need to educate yourself outside of this, because they will not tell you what it is. You have to read between the lines and decide for yourself and respect your own boundaries. Say no, because you can. They can't force you to do anything you don't want to do, and find out what is actually an emergency. What is actually an emergency? Because it's not all the things that they say it is. Find out what is actual fetal distress. Find out what you actually need, an induction or a C-section. Not, oh, it would be nice. No, this is life or death. We need to act now. Because acting now isn't this, we have time. Now, for all the women who do have pregnancy complications, childbirth complications, that is what Western medicine is there for. That is the benefit. But it's not the end-all be-all. We have this whole other history. Centuries of mammals giving birth, centuries of women giving birth, centuries of Black women giving birth to the fucking world. We are the first mothers on this planet. Don't let them dare tell you you can't do this, because you can. As my husband's favorite show, Community, the character Abed said, the bus pretty much drives itself. So this is my birth story. Please make sure you share it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm very thankful that I had the childbirth experience that I did. It ended up being an extraordinary one. Let me see. We also had essential oil diffuser in there. Yeah, it was. Oh, I will say also, I wanted it to be more of a right brain experience, more in my primal state. But the doctors kept walking in and giving me paperwork and talking to me and making it very left brain oriented thinking, the logical aspect. And I didn't want to be in that brain so much. So that's the one aspect I would change. Like, don't stop talking to me. Like, I'll sign whatever afterwards. Like, stop talking to me, you know? And that's why for my next baby, I'm having a birth center birth. I'm having a midwife. Because the one reason I was there was because of my chronic hypertension. But now that I know, because we've done the tests, that's not necessarily an issue. I can have a safe birth with my history and not be at hospital. You have to decide what's best for you, but make sure it's an informed, consensual decision. Make sure you are doing your education outside of obstetrics and gynecology. Look into ancestral childbirth, you know? And I'll leave on this one video I saw of a hospital in Ecuador where they had poles on the wall for women to grab. They had a birth stool. They had a rope hanging. They had mattresses on the floor. And it's like, we could have both. Childbirth could be a spiritual primal experience, and if necessary, with Western medicine to help. If things go awry, we could have both. We could be in balance in that way. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Choose what's best for you. But make sure you're educated and make sure you advocate for yourself, or you have people to advocate for you. That's how we change these Black maternal health disparities. Because we can't trust this system too. But I'm glad I have my childbirth experience, and I'm glad I have my baby girl. I'm glad I embraced the warrior in me, because mama don't play. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Like, share, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to check out the rest of my Mommy Fever playlist, and make sure you take care of you. Light and love.